So you're thinking about moving to Edmonton. You love all the green space and the trees. You love the river valley that it sits on. You like the arts and the cultural scene, but you're not a big fan of how big the city is. And I get it. Not everybody is a big city person. Some people prefer a slower and more peaceful, a more quiet pace of life. Well, you're in luck and you're on the right video here, because today we're talking about Fort Saskatchewan, which I would argue is a mini Edmonton in its own right. We've got lots of trees and walking trails, lots of green space and parks here in the city of Fort Saskatchewan. If you can see it behind me there, we're actually sitting on the North Saskatchewan River before it comes into Edmonton. It's on the north side of the city here. You could see the tennis courts and a nice little church across the river there as well. And we've got a great arts and cultural scene here in the city of Fort Saskatchewan. We've got the Dow Centennial Theatre, which hosts lots of musicals and plays, dance festivals and the like. It's also a great historical city as well. So if you're into arts and culture, you're going to find that aplenty here in Fort Saskatchewan. And we're a much smaller city than Edmonton. In Edmonton, we've got just over 1 million people. And here in the city of Fort Saskatchewan, we have about 27,000 residents. So a much slower and quieter pace of life. As you might be able to see around me today, it's a super quiet day here in the middle of October. We've got great weather. If you're new to the channel, my name is Brian. I'm a real estate agent here in the Edmonton metro area. And I love doing these videos so people can get a real feel of what it's like to live in these cities and these communities. I get people calling and texting me every single day from expensive cities like Toronto, Vancouver, Victoria, Montreal, and the like. And they're looking for a more affordable lifestyle and a more nature-driven style of life as well. So if that sounds like you, if you're interested in moving to Fort Saskatchewan or anywhere here in the Edmonton metro area, then go ahead and reach out to me. I'm going to put all my information in the description so that it's as easy for you as possible. Now, if you like this video and if you want to be the first to know about the current market in the Edmonton metro area, then be sure to hit the subscribe button and the notification bell so that you're always the first to know when we post more content about living here in the Edmonton metro area. Now, if you've seen these videos before, we're going to go take a look at 3 different homes in 3 different price points, so you see how far your money can go here in the city of Fort Saskatchewan. Before we do that, let's go take a look at some of the amenities that Fort Saskatchewan has to offer. All right, guys, so I am here in Legacy Park, which is on the north side again of Fort Saskatchewan. We're actually just a short drive away from that spot on the river that I was showing you guys earlier. Now, here in Legacy Park, we're kind of connected to a lot of what's going on here in Fort Saskatchewan. So we have the park here itself. Now, just ahead of me is going to be kind of a historical downtown area. You have the Heritage Precinct, you do have the public library, lots of shops and restaurants, really walkable little historic downtown. And then behind me, we're going to have some more updated stuff like banking. We're going to have a movie theater, we're going to have a medical center, and some restaurants and shops as well. So we do have a lot connected here to Legacy Park. As you can see around me, lots of green space here in the park to enjoy. We're another nice fall day here in Edmonton, in Fort Saskatchewan. Now, a little bit about the city. We are one of the smaller cities in the Edmonton metro area. We're sitting at about a population of 27,000 people. So not the biggest, not the smallest, but we are a little more out of the way than some of these other cities in the Edmonton metro area. Some of the cities, as you might know, are bordering on Edmonton, like Beaumont, St. Albert, and even Sherwood Park is really close to bordering on Edmonton. Here in Fort Saskatchewan, you're a little bit of a drive away from the city and all the amenities that you'll find there. Now, because we're a smaller city, you're also going to notice that you won't have all the amenities you expect. We have enough to get by day to day. We do have a movie theater, like I mentioned. We have lots of shopping and restaurants, all the grocery stores you could ask for, and you have a lot to get by here in Fort Saskatchewan. But for some of those niche things, the things you don't need every day, you might be finding yourself heading into Edmonton. Now, we also have a great arts and cultural scene here in Fort Saskatchewan. We do have the Dow Theatre here that's connected to a big sports complex as well. We're gonna have lots of festivals, plays, all that kind of art stuff, musicals going on in their dance festivals as well. And then you do have the sports complex attached to it, if that's what you're into. So we have lots of events going on here in Fort Saskatchewan. Again, as I mentioned, it's a great heritage site, a lot of history here. So if history is your thing, if you like that kind of stuff, you can definitely find it here in Fort Saskatchewan. So if you've seen some of these videos before, we are going to go take a look at 3 different homes in 3 different price points here in the city, so you can see how far your money would get you here in Fort Saskatchewan. Let's go check out the first one. All right, guys, we're coming up on the first house that we're going to be taking a look at today. Before we get there, though, I want to tell you a little bit about the community. Now, we are here in Old Fort Saskatchewan. We're actually not that far from Legacy Park And from the river valley that we just showed you earlier, again, this is really a historic and older part of town, Old Fort Saskatchewan, obviously. So you're gonna have a lot of those heritage sites up here near this community. You're also gonna have lots of shopping and amenities at your fingertips. We're also really close to, as you know, the river valley that's just on the north side of Fort Saskatchewan. Here in Old Fort Saskatchewan, we're kind of on the northeast side of Fort Saskatchewan. We're also gonna have the Fort Saskatchewan Golf and Curling Club. Not too far from here, we have a creek that's coming off the North Saskatchewan River. So you really have a lot of access to recreation here at your fingertips in Old Fort Saskatchewan. Now we're coming up here on the first house that we're taking a look at today. And it's this house right here. This house actually just sold recently for $327,000. Now that's a very affordable price point for a starter home. You're not gonna find that in most other cities here in the country, but we do have that here in the Edmonton metro area and specifically in Fort Saskatchewan. Now the house is 760 square feet above grade. It's gonna have similar, if not a little bit smaller, square footage down in the fully finished basement. It has a double detached garage, and it's on these tree-lined streets here. As you can see behind me, old mature trees going all the way down these streets. Now it's a little bit bare. We had a lot of wind over the last weekend, so we did see a lot of those leaves fall. But during the summer, the spring, the fall, really is a gorgeous sight. Even in winter, as the snow is sitting on those branches, really is beautiful to have these tree-lined streets and the access to nature and recreation that you do here in Old Fort Saskatchewan. All right, let's head over to the second home that we're gonna be taking a look at. I'm gonna drive through and show you what the community here looks like, and then I'll see you at the next home. Hey guys, we're coming up on the second house that we're going to be taking a look at today, and it's here in the community of Westpark. Now, as you can see, it's a little bit newer of a community than the last one we were in, where those houses were built in the 1950s. Here, we're going to have a lot of houses built in the early 1990s. Now, we're super close to a lot of amenities here in Westpark. We have the Dow Centennial, which is right near here. That's going to be where you have the Shell Theatre with all those arts and cultural things that are going on, like the festivals, the musicals, and the like. You also have the sports complex that's attached to it. So if you like to get out and play some soccer or hockey, then that's definitely a place to do it. We're also gonna have lots of shopping, restaurants, food nearby. Now the house that we're taking a look at is just to my right here. So this one with the nice little white picket fence. Now the house is listed at $470,000 and it's just over 1,600 square feet. Obviously nice inside, very well maintained. I'm gonna throw some pictures up here so you can take a look at the house. Now a little bit more about Westpark. So Fort Saskatchewan is built along the North Saskatchewan River. So we're on the west side of Fort Saskatchewan, but we're still along the North Saskatchewan River here. So you're gonna have lots of walking trails, very easy access to get out into the trees and along the river and enjoy a nice day out there. We also have a big park really close to Westpark here in the community itself, with a spray park and just lots to do to get outside and enjoy the nature. We're gonna head over to our third and final house for the day. First, we're gonna drive through Westpark so you can see what more of the community looks like, and then we'll go see that last house, and I will see you there. Hey guys, we're here at the final house that we're going to be taking a look at today, and it's here in the community of South Fort, which is fittingly on the south side of the city of Fort Saskatchewan here. Now, this is a newer community. I mentioned the last house that we saw, those houses were built in the 1990s. Here we're definitely 2010s and up. I'm not sure if you can see it behind me, but we still have new construction going on in South Fort. So if you want new construction, if you like sleek and modern, this is going to be the place to find it. We have lots of show homes and new development here in South Fort. Now with that, you're not gonna be able to find a ton of the amenities that you will in more established communities, but we're just a few minutes drive from that last community that we are in. So the same amenities that'll be accessible to you there will be just a short drive from here as well. Now the house that we're looking at is just this one right here. It's built in 2013. It has just over 2,000 square feet of living space above grade, and it's got beautiful fixtures throughout and upgraded appliances. You can see by these pictures, I don't have to sell you on it. It is a gorgeous home, and it's listed at just over $660,000. Now, right across the front of the home here, you do have a nice little pond. So you're not gonna have neighbors in front of you anytime soon, and you do have access to this if you wanna come out and enjoy a nice fall evening like I am today. Now here in the community of South Fort, one of the other appeals to being here on the southwest side of the city is you're gonna have easy access to the road that'll take you down to Edmonton or Sherwood Park. So if you ever need to get into the city to do some shopping, go catch an Oilers game, go to a concert or any other event, some of the festivals that we have going on in the Edmonton area all throughout the year, that's gonna be more easily accessible to you here than it will on the north side of the city, like in old Fort Saskatchewan, where our first home was. Now again, nice quiet fall evening here. Thank you guys so much for sticking around to the end of the video. I really appreciate it. If you guys like this content, go ahead and give it a like so that other people who are looking for this can find it more easily as well. If you guys want to be the first to know about the current market in Edmonton at any given time, go ahead and hit that subscribe button and the notification bell so you're always updated as to when we post more videos about the current market in the Edmonton and surrounding areas. And if you guys are looking to make the move here to Edmonton or any of the cities around it, reach out to me. My information is in the description, so reach out to me however is easiest for you. Thanks again, guys, for coming to take a look at Fort Saskatchewan with me today, and we'll see you in the next video.